Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Denise Williams, and we met at the Civil Society Boost Training funded by the European Union. And we've been talking about capacity building for our communities in different ways. And so, my focus with Caribbean Credit Repair Association is financial literacy and capacity building. I also have the brand Financially Focused. But we're not just going to stop there. I am so excited because what we're bringing to our group is not only just myself, who has various training in finance, but we're really focused on the young people. And so it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Mr. Gordon Clarke II. He is a Forex educator. I'm just going to put his photo on screen big because his video camera is not working. But I am just, so very excited. So welcome, Mr. Clarke. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? Blessed, highly favored, better than amazing. Thanks for having me.
All right. That's fantastic. So Mr. Clarke was here in Jamaica in January and he did training with us. It was fantastic. And his brand is Global Currency. And the training platform that Mr. Clarke works with is Xtream Lifestyle. And in that, commitment, global currencies, extreme lifestyle, I'm just so pleased to bring this information to Jamaica. So again, he spent a couple of days with us, taking us through the charts, learning how to read the charts, and it's so amazing. A very patient educator, someone who really cares about people and making a difference in persons' lives. And these are my kids, and I brought them to the training, and I thought, oh my goodness, why can't we have other young people exposed in this way? And so, Mr. Clarke, I'm handing it over to you. Why is this relevant? Why are you giving your time on a Friday at no charge, inviting young people, young at heart, to really learn what this slide is about? This green and this red and all of this. What's your motivation? What's your why?
My why is God. I'm just
Oh,
telling you straight out. It's so funny because a lot of times, um, at the beginning, because you have to go back to the beginning.
okay.
But anytime that you go back to the beginning, you got to have the end in mind. And it's funny how God works because He always elevates you. You'll think that you know what you want, but God will give you what you need. And my thing is, I was when I first got started, I think I was just like everybody else. I wanted to make money. I wanted to know how to get away from my job. And what ended up happening was God took me on a process. And so I understand now that wealth is the value that you create for someone other than yourself. And I think a lot
Oh,
of us, when we start coming in, we start thinking about how much money we're going to bring to ourselves. The thing that I really focus on is I talked about this a lot. Anybody that's ever heard me speak, they know that I talk about this a lot. If you think about the last thing that you spent money on, right, it's going to be something that you found of value. And so if you really just focus in on that key element right there, money flows where value comes from. And a lot of us want money to come to us, but there's no value coming from us. And so me personally, the reason that I would do this on Friday is simply because I remember exactly how I felt when I needed help and nobody was there to teach me, and I had to go and find help myself. So I wanted to help a lot of people out because right now, for the first time in history, we're seeing currencies change. We're seeing things go to more digital. You're seeing things really taking a different toll. And the thing is, we're getting left behind because of fear. And I
yeah.
understand what's going on with fear. And there's a difference between fear and anxiety. The thing is, there's a real fear of Forex because there are so many scam artists. So I like to start off by showing people how to protect themselves from getting scammed. I think if we're going to talk about how to make money, we got to figure out how to protect ourselves from getting scammed first. All right.
Right.
So I open my class up by showing people how to protect themselves from getting scammed, how to research companies, how to find reputable brokers. I do that because I know that there are so many people that could learn this information and help others become millionaires, all right, multimillionaires, and really just change the trajectory of their family and thereby get rid of generational curses, all right. But I also do it because I know that I can offer personal development with that. I think a lot of times people think money will solve their problems, but they find that they get more because having more money doesn't make you a better person. It just gives you more options. And if those
Okay.
options are on the so if those options are on the same wavelength, then you're just going to have more options to do more negative things. So I like to get people learning, but also from a positive mind space, from a development mind space, or from a godly mind space. I think if people can see my logo on here, yes, it's global
Okay.
currency, but everybody knows that it stands for God's children, and it's an illuminated G in the middle that stands for God is the center of everything that we do. And so I wanted to bring that back to the people, back to the children, because I believe that that's one of the things that's got lost with our youth. Not to force anything on it, because even God gives you a choice. All right. So, but I do bring that aspect to it. I bring a mindset to it, and I also bring a diligence to quality and showing people how to protect themselves. So that's why I'm doing it. I don't really care if they learn it from me or learn it from somebody else. I want to get rid of people's fear because we've been given dominion, so we shouldn't be walking around in fear anyway. And there's always going to be people that are scam artists or manipulators. We know what the devil is doing. We always hear about it all the time, but that doesn't mean that God is clocked out. So I want to remind people of that.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, the whole purpose of this talk that we're having is really for persons to feel comfortable so they can come on a Friday and just really be a part of what you're doing. And, in the photos that I've been sharing, we've been looking, at the classes and, looking at these are,
I didn't even know you were taking those photos.
you didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, but I love them, man. Especially when I see the kids and they're having a great time. And
Yeah, oh my God, my
yeah,
kids
that was
loved
a
it.
great
They
time.
loved it. So these are candlesticks, and this is some of the things that you're going to teach us about, the base currencies and the counter currencies, and just looking at, how, what does a bullish candlestick mean versus a bearish candlestick. And what I love about when I attend your classes is that, again, my kids understand it, general kids can understand it. And I think, for me, what I love about this civil society, group, and why I'm so committed to keep pushing to really make that connection is that a lot of us in this group have, over 100 kids in their communities.
Yes.
And a lot of the communities are low income, inner city communities. And I really, with every fiber in my being, believe that making the connection and showing these kids another way means that they don't have to go into a life of crime. They don't have to become a scam artist. They can sit at home on their phone, on their laptop, take care of themselves, take care of their families. Because I don't care, is the worst criminal out there. A lot, their family means a lot to them, despite what their criminal record may suggest.
Absolutely.
And I feel that this is the answer. So I just want to say to everyone, I'll definitely be sharing this video. We're keeping it short because I'm going to share it with you on your phone. And I want you to definitely listen. I'll be sharing the link on Fridays because we don't want to leave anyone behind. Mr. Clarke, you travel a lot. You're doing this every day.
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you get tired? Because a lot of young people, they're like, oh, I've been doing this, or even not so young people, oh, I can't bother. Tell me what's the driving motivation, because for your community, you don't just work on Fridays. I mean, it's basically something happening Monday to Sunday. But just what keeps you going?
Really seeing results.
Okay.
I think that's the beautiful thing about it all. It is so funny because it's funny, but it's sad. I see a lot of people, they're not even able to relate to what I'm saying when I say that I genuinely get a joy out of seeing people succeed. Because most times when people say that, there's a but to it or there's a means to an end. Anybody that's ever been in my class knows that a lot of the people I teach, I don't benefit directly from. The only benefit is seeing them win. So I think that me just making an impact, my ultimate goal is to never perish, meaning that I want to die. That means I don't want to die. That means that I want to impact the world to a point to where I'm remembered. It's a legacy that we're talking about. I want to make sure that I impact the world enough to where what I've taught people, what I've shown people, it's enough to change not just the generations in my family, but to change the generations in other people's family as well. So this is me taking my love that God gave me into your household.
Wow, I love that so much. A lot of young people grow up seeing, their families under financial stress. People are dealing with debt burdens,
Mm.
dealing with the pressure of the 9 to 5
So,
job that they want to be productive, but they hate the job at the same time.
yes.
And a lot of young people, they don't know what to do next. And I think someone asked me the other day, so Denise, what are you afraid of? What is it that bothers you? And I think for me, my biggest fear is that I don't know what to do next.
Right.
So I'm at a job and I don't love the job, but I don't know what to do next, or I
Right.
don't have enough money, so and I
Yes.
don't know what to do next.
Mm-mm.
And
So
so that's something I'm afraid of. And if
right.
someone else has that fear that they don't know what to do next financially, particularly the community leaders who deal with these kids and they see the impact of troubled homes and
Mhm.
broken families and stuff. I'm not asking you to solve that, but just
Right.
really dial down to the how do you deal with the what do I do next?
Yes. It's a mindset. And when I say mindset, I always tell people that it goes to automatic. So when I set my thermostat, it's set to an automatic temperature. If it deviates anything away from that, it's going to work harder to get back to that. That makes sense. The
Yes.
same thing for cruise control. I set it for an automatic speed. And if I deviate from that, it's going to work harder to get back to that set speed. So when I talk about mindset, it has to do with what do you automatically come back to? What's the type of programming that you come to? And what I found is a lot of people don't understand that we don't lack abundance, we lack awareness. And so we
Wow.
focus more on lack more so than we focus on abundance. It's kind of like the story of Adam and Eve. There was a lot of abundance there, but there was a tree that they didn't have access to. And so when somebody got to them and said, "Hey, look, yes, it tells you that you can eat from every tree," but he said that you could not eat from every tree. So that one word changed it. And when you change what you say, you change what you see. And so when you were talking about all the lack that was in the people's lives, people started focusing on it, and what you focus on grows. And so they're focused
Right.
on all the lack. And so it's kind of like seeing that car for the first time. Now you see it everywhere because now you're keyed in on it. So what I do first is focus on people's abundance, showing them how to change their way of thinking, how to attract these positive things into their life, because the blessings are there just as much as the tribulations. But if you're focused on the tribulations, you can never pay attention to the blessings, because what happens is you become a victim instead of a victor. And as long as you're a victim, you can never be accountable for the destination that you want to reach. So that's one of the first things, being intentional about getting to where you say that you want to go, and then blocking off all other things that's going to restrict you from getting to that goal.
That's amazing. Thank you. So again, this is what we're talking about for Fridays. Fridays, ladies and gentlemen, is about awareness.
Yes.
So there's about 360 kids on the radar, and we
Mhm.
want to give them awareness. And so
Let's go.
we're asking you, rally your troops, rally your kids, rally your community leaders, rally the adults, and get them on a Friday join with Mr. Gordon Clarke II. He's a fantastic educator. We're all about getting that financial literacy, capacity building. That's what this whole civil society project is about. So I just, I don't know if you have any, parting words, Mr. Clarke, but I just really thank you for your time.
Man, my parting words are just God bless everybody. Thank y'all so much. And I look forward to seeing you guys in class. Again, we're going to go over the basics and just really uplift. So invite everybody that you know. It's a family-friendly event. I mean, we have 10-year-olds that are in there making money. We have 14-year-olds making money. So, and we have them teaching now. We have 14 and 15-year-olds teaching because they've learned it at a capacity to where they can teach. And if you can't teach it, that means that you don't know it. So I'm going to really hold you guys' hand, and looking forward to seeing you. And thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Okay, so my name is Denise Williams. I'm with the Caribbean Credit Repair Association and Financially Focused. We're all about financial literacy, capacity building, and this video is your invitation to join us on a Friday. So see you then. Thank you all so much. God bless. Bye.
Take